Cat, I'm just gonna put you inside. Because I don't really want to do this with you. And you really want to do this with you. Really want to do this right now. You really want to do this right now, and I don't want to do it with you. I gotta put the cat up in a second. Just gonna invite Spirit, Source, God, Higher Power, whatever you want to call it. Come in. It's not you I don't trust, it's your instincts that I know that I do trust, and that I know that your instincts will make you want to do the wrong decisions, and it's wrong. It's almost the time for the birds to visit. There's a lobster in the sky. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilton Path. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I got a hitchhiker. I just washed my hair. Maybe the hitchhiker, he was a beach bum in a past life, and he's checking out this incarnate as a fly. It smells like coconuts. Check this out. Look at this guy right above me right now in my backyard. Divine entertains me. Looks like a lobster to me. Right there. Doesn't it look like a lobster? Isn't it a little lobster-esque? Kinda. That's what it made me think of. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go look up what a lobster means in a dream book or in a totem animal. What a lobster means. So I might. You know what? I'm so chatty these days right now. Where's the moon at? Is the moon in Scorpio? Is that where the moon is? I can't remember. Anyway, I'm extra chatty, so I thought maybe I'd do a chat talk earlier, and then maybe even do one later this evening. I don't know. I'm not promising nothing, but I know a lot of hearts are heavy right now. That's why I want to keep inviting God, Source, Higher Power, whatever you want to call it, in to these talks, so people hopefully recognize that this is a safe place where people can come and hang out and just be, be whoever you are, be whatever you are. I ain't here to judge nobody. There by the grace of God go I, Whatever anybody's done, I've probably done worse. And if it isn't in this incarnate, it's an incarnate past, so, I made a couple of notes. There's the notebook. So, unfortunate circumstance, I saw the report of a young man. He was a bar owner in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, I only can speak on the account of time from when I was there, because I moved from there in 2016, so it ain't my story. But when I was there, I remember when that bar went in, because I'm always about like building things from the ground up and things like that. And so I watched the this bar across the street, Hive, and I'm an alcoholic, so bars aren't good for me anyway. So, but I just kind of watched from afar, because there was a coffee shop next door too. I don't know. It's just like they're always anyway. And it's such a small community right there. Word about how people are get around, and this young man had made a name for himself, from just being a dickhead bar owner, really. Either you're gonna make friends or you're gonna make enemies. But when you dance with the devil and you spew out, alcohol for profit. Alcohol removes people's spirit, and it makes a lot of people feel good. It makes me feel good. I use it as a tool of deviation. I have. We all do. Everybody does. It deviates me from my current perception and reality. And the thing of it is the goal is to get people closer to a spirit, a higher vibrational frequency of love within themselves, so then they don't need it. So then they don't need alcohol. They don't need to feel better. You can just feel better of and by yourself is what the goal, what I try to help get people get to. And I slip, I fail, I fall. I freaking jumped off the wagon, burned it down, and then rebuilt it with hopefully a sturdier structure. Hopefully, that's all I can hope for is leave. That's all we can do is live every day for the day that we're in. You know, it's so hard for me to be present in the moment right now. The fact of it is that the account was is this bar owner, yeah, he took his life because some story that has nothing to do with me. So I'm just going on what I knew before, you know, and people either grow and become they live more in spirit or live more in ego. So if he was a kind of a freaking shystery, shady character back then, you know, and then this all this other stuff, you know, I can understand why he'd want to rest in peace. But I want people to recognize that it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter that you don't gotta take out your own light, because that's what the dark wants right now. The dark is looking at it like, more for our side, suicide, more for us, more tormented souls. And I'm not making light of suicide by any means. It's just, I've been talking about it for 2-3 years and about how the numbers are going to keep going up and up and up. And the reality of the situation is the stats of today, it's verifiable that these are what happening. And if people just come into a power greater than themselves to believe in that they're going to be okay, then it ain't that bad, man. It ain't that bad. Just hang on another day. Just hang on. Just live through this day. Just this one. Don't think about days ahead. You know? It's loss of life, man. Collateral damage freaking breaks my heart. I don't care if the guy was a dick or not, man. That's the thing is, I don't gotta agree with people, you know, because most people don't agree with me. I'm a Heyoka. I'm contrarian. I'm the one. I'm the other 1% that people don't give a shit about. You know, I'm just a little weird kid that ain't nobody ever paid attention to. With all the talk about and the shift and everything about energetic sensitive. I'm an energetic sensitive. I'm so sensitive that, like, I'm a hothead. My temper, you know, like, I gotta keep my conditions and my core centered and balanced and all my chakras aligned and balanced. And if they are not, if something's out of whack and I'm out of whack, then here comes ego, and here comes flare, and here come the demons out of my mouth, and here comes my lack of self-control, here comes my self-will run right, here comes all that gross stuff and that draws that bad karma. And so I got to do a lot of things to keep myself chill and zen, so to speak. And so I got to meditate darn near freaking 2 hours today. It was a glorious thing. It was like an hour and 47. It was like an hour and 40. It was wonderful. Oh, because I haven't been sleeping. And when I sleep, that's when my cells regenerate. And that's when my healing, that's when I do like the fifth element and all my cells, you know. I put myself back together and my spirit wanders, and I'm sleeping real good for one reason or another. So in the night, I just been waking up and hanging out with higher power, with God, source, you know, and then, like, oftentimes there's a talk from Paul Butler, you know, and I listen to Paul Butler, and I'm just like, and, you know, and then, you know, I'm having a hard time, and I start getting a little heady, you know, a little less present, start thinking about things a little too much out of my control. And oh, there's a talk by Adrian Elise. Thank goodness, you know, or there's Top Dog or Big Dog or whatever his name is, and he's doing a live. You know, it's all these distractions to help me stay in the moment, you know, because when people, you can't take God with you in the future, and God doesn't hang out in the past, so you got to stay in your present moment for all the glory to kick in. It's what I'm starting to recognize. I got Love Cats in my ear. This is the only song I can play on bass. Because it's like, 1, 2, it's like so simple. Anyway. I always wanted to learn how to play the piano, too. It's all this stuff I want to do. I feel like, and time is so weird. Is anybody else tripping out on time? I think that's what one of my notes were for. I'm like, time is so freaking weird, man. It's just like, what? It is so bizarro. When time don't matter to you. Is that what I called the talk? off the clock. Yeah, when time don't matter. See, because Ahmad, you just went back to work, but time didn't matter with you for a while. I'll check out Walter, whatever, Russell. If he sounds like me, I don't want to hear more of what I say in my own head. So I'll just say that right now. I hope he's nothing like me. um, what was I gonna say? Oh, time. So yeah, you just went back to work, but when people don't understand, when you don't have any accountability, when you don't have a place to go and things to do and people to see and human beings to interact with, that's what the freaking all this shit, this lockdown shit is inhumane. It's inhuman. It's not how humans are supposed to act. So, that's what people are really starting to get at. Where we go, when we go, we're all connected. Is that, that's why DT is doing cool stuff, is because ain't nobody supposed to be, yeah, there could be a vaccine, but ain't no, you don't have to take it. It's a choice. See, and so many of us have lived lives where we didn't have a choice. We just had to do shit. I was talking about the energy. It's important that I finish the energy thing, because when you get in a way, if you're a hothead, or if you're like, you got fire signs in your chart, I recommend everybody getting your birth chart. If you got a lot of fire signs, you got a lot of you got waters, emotion, dream, I mean, they all have their plus and minuses. They all have their pros and cons. But if like Scorpio moon, that is heavy escapism. Heavy escapism. So like the drinker's gonna want to drink right now, but by all means, anchor your ass to the dimension you want to come back to, because you don't always get to come back to the same dimension that you left. So life aren't, because sometimes people pick up demons with those spirits, and then they do stuff, and then they come back to a reality that it's called incomprehensible demoralization of, God, I wish I wouldn't have said that, I wish I wouldn't have done that, oh, what the world would be if I, it's all that. So there's ways to counter that. There's ways to counter it. Reach out to people, and I'm glad to see people doing. I got, there's a because it's all, I've talked bad about things or down about things, and it just helps me to be careful not to do that, because God, it's all there by the grace of God go I. It's all easy for me to do. I'm just this close from going down to get a bottle and blowing up my whole life, because that's what I've always done. But these are the times, because we get a chance to go and do our lives over. It's all Groundhog's Day when time becomes irrelevant. So if you're a hothead and you've got all kinds of energy, see, that's why I miss taking a shower every day and stuff. It's because I used to rinse off the energy of the day with the shower at night. I know a lot of people are morning shower takers. In the Midwest, it was too cold. I couldn't do it. Nope. Go out with wet hair. Nope. My hair would freeze. Nope. Hated it. Hate winters. Hate bad with winters. And I'm only getting older, and it's more sensitive, man. I layer up, but I do not like cold, blister, bone, like through the bone. It is like Death of 1,000 Soldiers, like the history of. It's like remembrance cold. It's not just temperature. It's like in freaking humane cold, that it's bitter cold. I experienced it in Alaska a couple times too. When I went up there, it was October, November. Nope. Keep the cold and the puffy coats too. I hate puffy coats. I hate puffy coats. I hate puffy coats. Puffy coats. Oh God, we're almost to puffy coat season. I just remembered that. Sweet Jesus. I'll be alright. Anyway. They're just like, it's like when I see so much of one thing, it's like all these people are just like oceans of the sameness. And I'm like, all these people have the same mentality, because they're all wearing the same coats. Ain't that right, squirrel? Ain't that right, squirrel? I prayed for a squirrel today. There was an all-call spiritual warrior, a spiritual prayer request for a person that lost their squirrel, baby squirrel was sick. So of course I'm gonna pray for the squirrel. And Jessie Zabota, here's my daily Jessie Z talk, plug or whatever. She posted a story about how they're even recognizing the sex trade and freaking, yeah, because there's nasty people that pay for it to do it orangutans, it's cute little monkeys and stuff like that, and they're saving the animals too. You just don't fuck with kids and animals. The perverts are coming down, man. There's so many today. Maybe because today is 2020 20 9/20 2020 3/20. Maybe because it's 3/20 today. So people's oculars are extra oculary, and they're seeing shit for how they are because the reports are coming out. The reports are coming out of the dastardly and the nefarious and the dirty tens and the creeper cripper tens. And sorry that they're your brothers and your uncles and your dads and stuff like that. These are storylines that I've been a part of my whole entire life, and I'm real sorry that they really are, because the reality is, hey, I got my own realities of situations of the possibilities of what the relations that what the monstrosities of the people that I'm related to, I could have the same blood in me, but the only thing is, in the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke you, Satan. I don't gotta live like them. I don't gotta make the same choices that they do. So you start getting hot in the head and stuff like that. I just wash my hair in the backyard. Get a jug of water. Just put cold water on your head. Shift your energy. Whatever you can do to shift your energy. You start getting your temper. Because now we're in Aries and Mars, so people got all this energy and it's all fire, and everybody wants freedom, and everybody wants justice, and everybody wants. Everybody wants, and so people gotta find some discipline and some calm and some ease within themselves, because you don't always get what you want, and then when people don't get what they want, then they lash out. And I've done that for years and years. I blew up my life so many times, and the thing of it is my life isn't my life to live anymore, just mine. I am for the collective. I'm here for Mom. I'm here for the dogs. I'm here to spread my message, my little messages of hope, whatever they are. I'm wearing my jewels today. I don't wear my jewels very often. These both came from Crete, island of Crete. So I have that energetic stamp. This one was off, I think I got off of Novica. It's the ocean. Represent my water element. And then this was a gift, because I'm a maintainer. It has that little maintainer look. It was pounded with I love jewelry. I love it. New Orleans until Monday, 7 p.m. Wind advisory. Yep. So I've got to play a little dress up. Wore my bow tie from my old world, new lore. I wore my outfit to Walmart, by the way. Wally World. Excuse me, Wally World. I wore my bow tie and my dress shirt, my freaking tactical pants rolled up to my knees with one white sock. I'm like, Mom, do I look like a clown? She's like, no, you look very nice in your bow tie. I'm like, thanks, Mom. Dancing around Walmart. It was a quick trip in and out. Well, today was a pretty good day. I stayed in the present. I managed to stay in the present. Talkie broom. Time is so bizarro. Oh, it's still bizarre even. But see, that's the thing, is I haven't lived. I have been a work from home daughter and pretty much shut off from the world divinely, is how I look at it, for 3 years. 3 years. Because the first year I was still pretty active because I was looking for a job. And so I was still part of the world, And then I burned through all my savings, and then I was like, shit, you don't got no, and then I was yet another spirit. It's just layers of an onion. You think you get to freaking, you think you look back and you're like, no, everybody been waking up since birth, that we're all supposed to be living for God, Jesus, that in that vibration, to be good to everybody, not just, all these bureaucrats I'm seeing, dude. See, all this stuff happened back in 2007. Same astrological planet alignments and stuff like that. And so, it's just really, but we got like a $500 stimulus package then, if you made under so much, And, where's my music? There's Heavy Dirty Soul, 21 Pilots. I don't know. about them these days. You don't know about them anymore either? I know, they're kind of on the fence. They're disappointing me. I'm disappointing myself with my expectations of them. That's better. So, somebody just watched in South Australia. How cool is that? That is so cool. That's like, shing! Salem, Oregon, South Africa, activate. Psh, connection. And then I got a mod. We got Toronto, Salem, Oregon, psh, love bombs, connection. Psh. And then G-Dog, hey G-Dog, I downloaded Mary Mary Shackles. I've been all day. I forgot about that one. Thank you for the reminder. So you're down in Sacktown. So Salem, Oregon is Sacktown. Pure love bombs. You know what I mean? Thank you. See, that's the thing is I always got to tell my, if I'm happy, I always got to tell my face because I can look really fucking mean. I get jowls. Because I just see the ugliness in people and I reflect it. It's awful. What was I talking about? I have my note. Oh, so shift in energy. It's important for people to shift your energy right now. Shift your energy if you need to. If you start getting hot-headed, do something. Just leave. Just leave. Just leave the situation. Just walk away. Because the tongue is just as sharp as a knife. And you could say things right now that you can never take back. You know, and I'm saying this to, I talk about this stuff because I'm saying it to me too. I'm reminding myself because I freaking have a big freaking mouth, and I have a history of just saying spiteful, mean things to burn bridges. Because it's just like, well, if I ain't gonna, we aren't gonna, if it ain't gonna, if it, I was less willing for just know them. It had to be a certain way, and then they. And then, I don't know, people are hard for me. People are so hard for me. They're like puzzles, but they change stuff up because of free will, and psychology has so much to play. It has so much to come to factor. And so, and if people are honest about where they came from, then I can get a little bit more of a handle on their psychology, their frame of reference. But if people are dishonest from where they're coming from, then I don't know. You know, and when people spend freaking, God, it's crazy to me how much I think about how much people spent to look a certain way, to drive certain cars. And, you know, like now the idea of like, it's just all ego stuff. And I was just like, nah, all I need is enough. All I need is enough. I don't need exuberant amounts. So I look in the media about all of the paradigms that just sustain themselves on gluttony. You know, churches, politics, it's all sustained on people being greedy. NFL, pro sports, all the pro sports, all the sport, all people people before profit. Let's call it that. People or profit before people. See, all this is the world. All this is because money has mattered more than people. People are freaking. They're saving people in the tunnels now. Probably as we speak, all over the world, tunnels, tunnels, tunnels. Look at the tunnels. Look at the tunnels. Look at the tunnels. Historically, all over the world, when I was a kid, I used to freaking go down in the tunnels under Reading. You know, there's always tunnels. I'd always, you know, and you put, you know, whenever I move, okay, where are the tunnels at? Then I, you know, work at Creighton. There's tunnels under Creighton. You know, I was thinking about that today. I had to like clear my energy field because I was starting to meditate, and I started getting memories of eating in the Jesuit dining hall, just where you have to be like a Jesuit or with you can't just go in there and eat as an employee. You got to be with somebody. And this priest and we kind of became friends, and like it's just a real weird vibe I got from this guy. Nice guy, weird vibe. Like we went hiking and stuff, and it's just always and like so I know the inner, you know, and then like we went hiking one time because he was new to the area, and he knew somebody I knew from it was like some mutual weird kind of, it was like a connection. So it's like, all right, if you're his friend, I'll show the guy around. So took him on a hike with like my mom and someone else, I think, went. And it was and like went down into where their quarters where they slept, and because everywhere I go, I'm looking at wall, taking all the stuff in. So even at the dining hall, I'm like taking all these stuff in. And then Jesse Zabodar's talking about how they freaking like all these Nazi German freaking scumbags, because they're of who they're related to, have been hiding in the churches here for years. And I'm like, dude, I remember hearing about stuff like that. But, oh no, that doesn't happen. That's not true. That's not true. And they're all creepy pervs and do all these. Yeah, oh, it's just the truth. The 2020, the clear year of clear vision is just oh so wild, man. And people are coming into realizations that there's some dark freaking evil shit in the world, man. And it ain't all love and light. And if you don't freaking teach learn how to keep your own self. Hey, squirrel, what up, homie? Good to see you, man. Thanks for popping by. if you don't learn to protect yourselves and your family, and I that's the thing is, you got questions, OPSEC, security. I always like switching it up. Yeah, I have my routes that I like to go, but I don't ever always go the same route. So I'm like, no, sometimes I want to go this way, sometimes I want to go that way, because when people get too stuck in a pattern, then then people start knowing you in a way that you might want them to know. Here's my shirt. I like putting up my shirt. If people ever want to buy one of these, if you get a hold of Austin Embroidery in Omaha, Nebraska, she makes them for me. You can order one there. Came up with it when I was 9. Whenever I see somebody with a cool t-shirt, I'd be like, if I ever made a t-shirt, it'd say straight people like rainbows do because they do, or two because they do. I always thought it was mean that anybody took the rainbow. You can't take the rainbow. It's like you can't fucking take Venus, Russia. We are declaring Venus as ours. It's just like you can't declare. It's everybody's. You can people freaking claiming property and freaking shit that they ain't even ever been to. It's like, can I get a place to live in a couple weeks? Please, can I get a place this week? Can I just get a place to live this week? Just this week. Just this week. I want a place to live this week. This is the week. I just want to receive. Dude, I've been freaking messaging people on Craigslist, and this one guy gave me his email address via text. I sent him an email. I said, I want to talk to you about this listing. I'd like to, very respectful and stuff. And then he sends me a text. He's like, this is my email address. And I was like, very good. I'll put together an email for you, explain my whole situation. Like, I hate typing. God, but explain my whole, and I thought, because it was like Christian 10, Christian family 10. I'm like, either this is going to work in my favor or it's not. And never freaking heard. That was like Friday. I'm like, I can't even get I can't get businesses to call me back. I can't get people. It's like last week, there's a young girl that's like, oh yeah, we'll keep an eye out for you if something comes up, I'm just, and I'm weird kid stuck on it because it's my problem, but it's nobody else's problem, so they're not like as adamant about it as I am, and so it's just like, yeah, I know it's divine. God's gonna carry me, I gotta leave. I have to leave. I have to. It's not a choice. I gotta go. So. I know when stuff happens like that, doors open, and I gotta admit, I'm a human being. I'm spirit having a human experience at the same time. Sometimes my fear swells a little bit bigger than my faith, and then I get myself in check and stuff like that, dance it out, and try and raise my vibe and get back in the present moment that I just got to live through today and not freak out about shit. And if I do, I can't take that fear out on other people, and that's a lot of people are taking their fears out on other people right now. It's so hard to watch. So hard to watch. So I came up with this when I was 9. Yeah, and then it's just like I keep trying to sell it, and people always said, oh, that would make I was gonna do a bumper sticker, and then they're like, "Oh, that'd make a good T-shirt." And I finally do it, and it's just like I bought like a box of 30. I did sell 5, and I freaking dropped the ball because I dropped the ball. I did. Is my bad karma. That's probably why it's never picked up because I never sent it to him. But I figured there's so few and far between that I got their shirts, and what I was trying to do is get there and give it to him personal and give him amends for taking so long, kind of thing. But I don't know if Universe is going to open that course, that timeline up. So what kind of timeline are people are thinking, or what are people thinking about? What kind of world are people making with what they're thinking about? Are they making a world heaven on earth, or are people still freaking out, being fearful and stuff like that? I can't even watch the news or look at any media in Oregon because it's just all fairy tales. It's all Lucy fairy tales. It's all bullshit. You know, there's loss of life, and I don't really care what the stories about how they got. It's all based on greed. It's all because people have been greedy. That's what all this major catastrophe is, because people have been running from their will and just doing what they want, and so they kept putting money in their pockets instead of going out and frickin' tending the land in which they're frickin' were paying themselves to do. So even back in 2007, look at all the, look at the people that are paying their staff in offices are getting. I knew they were gonna do it. I just was hoping that they wouldn't. Or I shouldn't say it like that. I'm gonna erase that whole. I didn't know that they were going to do it. The reality is people have the potential to live in greed or from heart, and all that money could have gone to the people, but they they set themselves up to keep themselves in a position of power, and that's living for themselves and living for their ego and just living for them. And we are a collective Earth, and everybody needs a lot of help. Thanks, Kijin, for sharing me. Yay! Oh, I freaking love her, man. I love her. I can't wait till she does. Like, I love just hanging out with her. When she turns the camera around, it's like hanging out with her. It's like we're in the same room, you know what I mean? It is so wonderful, all the connections that are being made in life right now. Of all the beautiful we're just a bunch of lost boys and girls, that are trying to find our way, because we were always told of a narrative and a storyline and of how things were. But our hearts always said, that ain't how it is. It ain't like that. That ain't how it is. It ain't like that. That's a bunch of crap. It ain't like that. We're calling bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And there's such a few. And these politicians, it is so. Because I ain't never paid attention to politics, because it's just made up to me. It's just another bullshit made up. And I was in the Air Force, and it's just who's in charge and how they feel that day, and standards. Ethics, morals? No. If there was an asshole in the room, he's probably in charge and he's gonna get his way. You know what I mean? Because that's why he's in charge, because he's a fucking asshole. Now and they all got out, back when Operation Iraqi bullshit, and got into politics and have been freaking swinging their wieners since. And it's just like, no more fucking assholes running the fucking planet. The whole planet has to de-dick. Everybody has to dick down on dicking down on Mother Gaia. But you know what the beautiful part about that is? Is that men are coming into their masculine or their feminine energy. They're getting good with their sensitive side. They're breaking through the hard anger, because I know this, because I'm more masculine energy than feminine. It's caused problems in my life, if you can imagine that. I don't know. You can just imagine that. I'm an authority magnet. I'm 5'2", 46-year-old, and freaking big dudes like to walk at me, and I just it's gonna be like running into a tiny little brick wall. Because I ain't budging, motherfucker. People do. It's like a power thing. I see power plays in everything, because I don't give a shit. I know I'm a powerful, strong being, because I know God has my back. Because I gave my spirit, my soul, to Source God, Jesus Christ, years ago. Gave it to him. And look at every single being that sold their soul to Lucy Fairy for the juicy crumb or whatever. I love when she says juicy chrome too. I love it, man. I love slang. I love it. It's, and bad spelling, they can't track algorithms, That's why the Facebook, see, they put stuff out there to see what people are biting on. This is what they do. And if you look at, like, what's trending, like, dude, Nurse Ratched, the fact that so many people like that is really troubling to me, because these are storylines of things that have actually happened and are still happening. I was thinking about that today, because when I get excited, see, I'll pee my pants. I could pee my pants, not right now because I don't have to go pee. But the thing of it is when I was a little girl, I would get caught up in things, and I'd be like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'd hold it, because we'd have a lot of car trips and stuff, so you'd all, hold it, so it's always holding it, and then so when I'd play, I'd hold it. Well, what happens is when you get old, it's like a balloon. There is a point to this. I'm not trying to be disgusting. It's like a balloon, but when you get older, if you do that, you hold. That's why people get incontinent when they get older, is because you lose that ability to hold it. That it loses its elasticity. Excuse me. And then I was like, holy shit. When I was 12, I've talked about this before, I had a doctor from India, Dr. Niazi, and what was their solution? What was their solution? Why was sticking metal rods between the urethra and the kidney a solution for that? And I was like, and then a woman that watched my videos was like, shit, they did that to me. I'm like, that's modern day fucking torture. That is modern day torture. But, and then I'm just like looking at all the, because I'm already suspicious, because when my mother was born, Native American, we didn't know we were Native American. She was adopted, but I guess looking at people, you could tell. So we're very Native American, and from Spain a lot too. And so when I was born, they cut her uterus in half and took out one of her ovaries. I'm one of those. I'm one of so many nasty, gross, dirty storylines that nobody wants to hear about. My storylines are... It's like you go to school and people are like, what'd you do this summer? People never wanted to hear about what I did, because it was just always... There was a skit on Debbie Downer or whatever on SNL. I can't watch that show. I used to watch it in the 90s, and then like I peeped in on it a couple years ago out of the clear blue sky. Just wanted to see what was live, and so I watched it, and I came across, I was like, I couldn't believe what I saw. It was a skit with The Rock, and he was a scientist doing like a demo for a child molesting robot. I'm pretty sure it's still on the tubes. I about frickin' threw up in my mouth, and I was like, I can't. And I used to watch like his, like where he was like the nanny type, and I used to watch some of his movies, and I'm like, what people do for money is weird to me. And then fast forward, now with all the storylines, it's just like, man, I bet you wish you wouldn't have done that, but hey, it's alright. We all do stuff that we freaking aren't happy about. We all do stuff that's called repenting. And that's just not... Look at all the freaking perverts. There's some old YouTuber dude, science guy, that got busted up in Utah with freaking hard drives, like many of them, and that is a twisted, sick. And I watched some of his videos so I could, because I studied people, and I'm just like, okay, and they're always just the nicest guy. You just never can tell who's just gonna frickin' grab a kid, and then other places there's big arrests and stuff from stuff that happened like a year ago, with all these people with a year ago, think about, there was like all these people that arrested last year, and then it's like a big old Gantt chart of freaking nasty grossness that's coming out. And it's really quite cleansing and healing, because people like me that have had a lot of this shit that happened to them and stuff, it's like finally our lives are being validated. We're all, yeah, that's, no, that doesn't happen, that doesn't happen, going on, hey, go Big Red, and it's just like, dude, Omaha is like the hub of freaking human trafficking, you know. But look at all the companies that benefited, and look at all the corned beef that was the beef that in the corn fed heifers that were freaking sold and all that stuff. More lives, more lives. But Omaha's getting its karma right now. It's its politics are just like every place else. The seedier, how the mighty are fallen, and maybe this is how the meek shall inherit the earth. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a right evening. Peace.